zones. Show 'em you ain't dead. Tell 'em that you ain't coming home. Ooh, eyes. Ooh, eyes. Ooh. Time to run, ain't no place to hide, ain't nobody safe anymore. Ooh, eyes. Can't count the shine of gold, can't follow the stories told, ain't no shelter anymore. Ooh, eyes. Ooh, eyes. Ooh. Ain't no time to run, ain't no place to hide, ain't nobody safe anymore. Ooh, eyes. Can't count the shine of gold, can't follow the stories told, ain't no shelter anymore. Ooh, eyes. Ooh, eyes. Ooh. Show 'em you ain't dead. Tell 'em that you ain't coming home. Ooh, eyes. Ooh, eyes. Ooh, ain't no time to run, ain't no place to hide, ain't.
Hey guys, well, we're taking I just wanted to kind of get on tonight and test out some of the new live streaming gear. But hey, you know what? Since we're here, we can talk about anything you guys want to talk about. It's been, if you watched the video that I posted a little bit earlier today, then you know it's been a long 3 weeks. I haven't really had the opportunity to be able to upload much of anything just because of the move and then being in LA. And but you know, hey, you just got to do what you got to do. And so I finally had a chance to get everything set back up. And what I really wanted to do was just kind of hop on tonight and you know, just kind of test out the new gear. We are using the Sony a7 III as the camera, which is awesome. For any of you camera geeks, I also learned something else, that I can actually put my APS-C crop sensor 10 to 18 millimeter on the full frame camera, and as long as you're over like 16 millimeters, then you know, you don't get the vignetting around the edge or anything like that. So if you're joining us and you're here and you're live in the stream, you can chat. You can put over there. You can type in anything you want to type in. Like I said, I just wanted to get on and test everything out and see how it's going to work. And you guys can tell me how everything looks and how everything sounds. James Buchanan, hey buddy, thanks for stopping by. You said it sounds and looks great. Good. Yeah, you can kind of, you can kind of see a little bit of the new digs here. Really loving it a lot. It took a lot to get set up, and you know, I'm not 100% there, but we will get there, and I'm just really excited to be in the new place. The move was difficult. It for those of you that don't know me really well, and I may have put this in a couple of the videos, but everything happened very quickly, and short story long, or it may end up being a long story, but my wife and my kids came to me about 45 days ago, and we had just bought in this new house. What did we buy it like 15 months ago? And we thought we wanted to be a little bit closer into town, and everything coincided also with us putting our kids in private school last year. Well, they ended up meeting a bunch of new friends, and come to find out, all of the friends that they now go to school with live in the old neighborhood that we left. So they came to me and they're like, hey, we really want to go back to the old neighborhood, but we know that's going to be an issue. We know it's going to be a problem. We just bought this house. And I said, you know what? Let's just put it out there and see what happens. So we called our real estate agent, Whit Clark, who owns Frederick and Clark here in Nashville. We said, hey, we want to list the house. And he said, okay. So he came over and listed the house. Guys, we sold the house in 24 hours. Literally, the first person that came to look at it made us the offer. And so there was a little period there where it was like, okay, well, we've sold this. We got to find something else. And if you're not in Nashville, the real estate market in Nashville right now, unbelievable. Real estate agents can't keep inventory. People are buying stuff left and right. But very fortunate. Our prayers were answered. We ended up finding the house that we bought. So we actually sold a house and bought a house in 24 hours. And that started that 30-day clock of having to pack everything up, get ready to move, do all the negotiating and the packing and the moving and moving your address and all that kind of stuff, which is a stressful situation in and of itself. But in that same time period, I had scheduled my trip to San Diego Comic-Con and to LA. So literally we moved into this house. Everything was in boxes. My wife was like a champ, man. She had this house set up, her part, and most everything else other than the studio, the streaming room, and my stuff, she had set up before the end of the weekend. And it was amazing. And then it was my daughter's 15th birthday on the Tuesday after we moved in on Saturday, and then I left for LA on Wednesday. And I just got back from LA last week. So it's been tough, and yesterday I thought my wife was going to leave me. I was pitching a pretty good hissy fit up in here. I was screaming, throwing things, breaking things. You know, it's that thing when you move, I remember packing this stuff. I remember what box I put it in, and now it's like you open that box and it's not there. But anyway, I'm starting to get everything set up. It's almost set up exactly the way that I want it to be. I'm still working on one more room across the hall. But luckily, again, my wife comes to the rescue and did just about everything. If you watch the video I posted today, she single-handedly got all those Funko Pop Batman up on the wall. She did all the movie posters. She did everything. I have to say, I was in such a rage that all I was seeing was red. And so if it hadn't been for her, there would still be a ton of junk just laying around on the floor. So finally getting everything set up, and I thought, you know what, it being Monday, it'd be a good opportunity to kind of kick off these live streams. This is something that I really want to do. I love getting the emails from you guys, whether it's about music business or gaming or just business in general, because I am a lifelong entrepreneur, and I've been very fortunate to be successful in the music business, but I also have other interests. And I know you guys have other interests as well. And the YouTube thing kind of kicked off, and that's been going really well. We've been growing subscribers. I think we're up over 150 over the last 30 days. And I wasn't exactly sure how to take that because I hadn't posted a video in 3 weeks. But I'm really enjoying it. I always have felt that Well, I'll go back a long time ago, and I was used to be in the radio business a long time ago, and I was always treated like crap as the young kid. You know, you don't get any respect, and nobody loves you, nobody thinks you're any good. But I had this one program director named Ken Wall, who just really kind of took me under his wing, and he treated me right. And from that moment on, I made a kind of a pact with myself that no matter how far I went in whatever business I was in, and no matter how successful I got, that I look at it as my responsibility to look back down behind me and go, who can I help? Because I don't ever want to treat anybody the way that I was treated. And it's just, we can all do each other right. So that was really the foundation of this YouTube channel, and doing the music biz vlogs, and then getting over into some of the toys and tech stuff, because that's the stuff I love. That's the stuff I'm passionate about. I do music for a living, but I'm very passionate about videography, cinematography, and cameras, and gear, and toys, and cars. Those of you that know me well know I love my cars. But I wanted a place to be able to kind of put my interests out there, and then help those of you that I can help along the way. So I want to start doing these live YouTube live sessions at least once a week. Give you guys the chance to ask questions. We can talk about, like I said, any topic you guys want to talk about. I'm completely up for it. All you have to do is type it over there in the chat, like James and Chandler. Chandler, good to see you here, buddy. And Chris, good to see you. Yeah, I got your comment, Chris. Yeah, you can see, just so we're clear, Chris, my halo's back there. That halo isn't going anywhere. But if you got a question while we're on here, we might as well. If anybody has a question or something you want to talk about, all you have to do is type it in the comment section, and it'll pop right up in front of me, and I can read your comments right here. But I think this would be a good platform for us just to be able to talk about different things, and like I said, answer questions and do whatever you guys want to do on the live chats. One thing that I do want to talk about, that I want to get into, I don't know that we'll get into it this week. We might get into it next week, and that is this new the new bill in the legislation for the Music Modernization Act. I am a CSAC affiliate, which is not a popular thing to be at the moment. CSAC has introduced this amendment to the bill, and there are not very many people that are really happy about it. If you're a songwriter, a producer, you own a publishing company, you know, the legislation and the current law that protects songwriters hasn't been changed since I think it's the 30s or 40s. That's why when you hear songwriters complain about streaming royalties and places like Apple Music and Google Play and Spotify and all these places, no, we're not getting the money that we should be getting because the law is old. And there have been a lot of people, excuse me, there have been a lot of people with BMI and ASCAP and NSAI, and a lot of those companies have fought very hard, and CSAC, at the congressional level to get this Music Modernization Act passed. It's not a giant leap forward by any stretch of the imagination. I've been fighting with people on social media about the last 3 days that these guys think all of a sudden that their $150 check they get every quarter is going to start being $15,000, and it's not. It's going to be pennies. But I really want to dive into this because if you are in the music business, if you're a songwriter, publisher, anything like that, you need to understand this legislation. You need to understand what it means for your company. You need to understand what it means for your bottom line. And you need to know the truth. And I really want to dig into this. I have a meeting with Shannon Hatch, who is the Senior Vice President of Creative for CSAC. I have a meeting with her coming up on the 1st about something completely different, but I'm going to talk to her while I'm there about actually having her come join us for a live YouTube session where she can actually tell you CSAC's side of things. And explain to you what's going on. I understand it. I've read the legislation. I have read their amendment. And it basically comes down to free market, which I'm all for. I think competition breeds success. But there are a lot of people that disagree with me. I also want to have somebody on that disagrees with me completely. I like to hear all viewpoints. We may not agree, but you know, I figure my job, especially through this channel, is not to tell you what is and what's not, but I always tell you the truth as it is. And then you can decide for yourself which side of the coin that you want to fall on. Chris asks, you already set up your room treatment? Yeah. Yes and no, Chris. I have put up the sound baffles. You can see there's one over here, and see, I got to be careful because like when I'm looking at this camera, it's over here. But there's one right there. There's one on the other side. There's one right there, and then I've got another TV, another, what was that, 70-inch, I think, and then I've got another one right there. But what I'm gonna do, the plan is, there's a great company here in Nashville that does room treatments, and what I'm gonna have them do is come out. And I'm gonna get a couple more of those baffles like that, because they're great, and I got them on Amazon, and I'll provide the link to anybody that wants it. But they're really great. They're not cheap, but they're great. But what I want to do is have this company here in Nashville come in and actually hang some baffles from the ceiling. I want them to hang right here above this area, and then right back there above the Argosy Halo. But what I've got right now, I'm not doing any vocals here for the next several weeks. I'm not doing. I actually went over and used a buddy of mine's studio at Verge. Over downtown Nashville, just north, or I guess it's East Nashville, considered East Nashville. Great little studio over there. I went over there this weekend and did some vocals, just because I want to wait till I have everything exactly the way that I want it, and I am going to have those baffles built and hang them from the ceiling. But what's on the wall right now is the stuff that I got, and I've had it for a few years, and I love it. But I got that stuff. They come pre-made. From Amazon, and I forget the company that it is. I have to say, though, when I had my other YouTube studio at the old house, I actually bought some of those producer blankets from, I can't remember the name of the company. I swear to God, it's like Vocal Booth in a Box or something like that. I can't remember the name, but those blankets were amazing. I have never, in all of the professional studios that I've had, that I have had professionally treated, these blankets are by far the best thing on the face of the planet. I will, and they are not cheap either, but they're well worth it, because what a lot of people didn't know is my old studio was actually in the garage, and you would think there was no sound treatment whatsoever. But what I did was I built a room in my garage out of those blankets. Like I took the bracing that was on. I unplugged one side of the garage door opener. Y'all, I'm telling you, it does. I'm a realist, you know. It's like I wasn't going to take up any more square footage in the house, so I went and I looked. I'm like, there's the garage door on one side. That could be the framing, and then I could hang these blankets across the back, and then allow the side. And so I created this little sound booth, and that was my YouTube studio with all my videos up until today. Most of them that were shot in that set that you can tell with the background and the different color lights in the back, that was all shot in my garage using a Sennheiser lavalier microphone. That was just great. So I'm trying to find a use for those producers blankets, because I bought like $900 worth of them. And so it's like I want to use them. If I get to a point where I don't think I'm going to use them, maybe we might do a giveaway here on the channel or something. Because they are amazing. They are the best soundproofing, acoustic treatment. They're the best thing I've ever seen in my entire life. But what I didn't want to do is just hang those blankets here in the control room. I might take a couple of the smaller ones and make a vocal booth in the other room in there that I haven't finished yet. I may do something like that. But I know for a fact that I don't have a use for as much as I have. So I highly recommend those. And I'm open to suggestions, Chris. If you got an idea or something, put it in the comments. Chandler, excited for the next Songwriter Series show at the farm. I am. What Chandler's talking about is the Hit Songwriter Series down at Ferguson Farms in Union Grove, Alabama. We were doing it once a month. Now that football season's about to start, I think we're going to maybe do once, maybe every 60 days or something. But what we're doing is, if you live anywhere near the Huntsville area, or I'm going to forget all the names of the towns, but there's Arab, Gunnersville, Decatur, Northern Alabama. If you're anywhere near Northern Alabama or around 100 miles from Huntsville, I myself and I picked 2 other hit songwriters to go down, and we do a live concert at Ferguson Farms. It's called the Hit Songwriter Series. If you want to find out more information, you want to get tickets, go to hitsongwriterseries.com. You can also find them on Facebook. The upcoming show will be August 25th, and it will be me, my buddy Jeffrey Joseph East, or Jeffrey East. You can look him up. This guy, not only is he an amazing songwriter, had cuts with Tim McGraw, Rascal Flatts, and a ton of other people, but he's also now launching his own artist career, and he is phenomenal. His name's Jeffrey East. You can look him up. He just played the big stages at CMA Fest, but we're going to have him there at Ferguson Farms for the Hit Songwriter Series, and it's going to be a lot of fun. It's August 25th. Again, tickets, you can find them at hitsongwriterseries.com or look at it on Facebook. And the other person that's going to be there, I always bring 2. The third person that's going to be there is my buddy, Emmy-winning actor Jacob Young. Now, a lot of people know him as Rick Forster on CBS's The Bold and the Beautiful. But he's also been in movies like The Girl Next Door, which is a great movie. He's done Broadway. He played Lumineer, or however you say that. The Candle from The Beauty and the Beast. He was the Candle in the Broadway play, the Broadway adaptation of The Beauty and the Beast. But he's been on Bold and the Beautiful for years. And he's a huge country music fan. He contacted me about 1.5 years ago. He said, "Hey, I've heard a lot of the records you've produced. I want you to produce my record." And I'm like, okay. And I've worked with actors before. Let me just say that Jacob's the real deal. Country, even though he plays this straight-laced, suit, all business type guy on TV. I mean, the guy lives in Utah. I mean, he lives on a farm. I mean, he's got tractors. I mean, he's a country guy. So we started working together, and I produced his album, and he's been putting out singles for the last, I don't know, maybe 6 or 8 months, and they're getting, tons of streams. His fans from his TV shows and movies are really kicking in and following over to his music. And he had a break in his shooting schedule. He's shooting 3 films right now. But he had a break in the schedule. And I said, "Hey, you want to come down and do the Hit Songwriter Series with me?" And he said, "Absolutely." So he's going to be there as well. So it'll be me, Jeffrey East, and Jacob Young. And again, tickets, hitsongwriterseries.com, or look them up on Facebook, and they're on Instagram as well at Hit Songwriters. So that's going to be a lot of fun. That is August 25th. And I'm probably, I didn't get a chance to shoot a lot of video at the last one, but I'm going to. I'm going to do better about that. The last one was me, Reggie Young, or I'm sorry, me, John Kennedy, and Reggie. Yeah, Reggie Ham. And we just had a blast. That was our second one. This one coming up will be the third, and it's just been an absolute blast. And out of this, we're now I'm being asked to put these things together all over the country, and it's a lot of fun, traveling around playing the hits that you've been fortunate enough to write, and get to connect with people. Kind of the same thing that we're doing here. It's just it's a lot of fun, and you get a chance to get out of Nashville, and it's only about an 1.5-hour, 2-hour drive from here to Ferguson Farms, which is in Union Grove, just right outside of Huntsville. So it's a nice little ride down, and have some fun, play some music. We got a great sound system. You can go down there and you can meet Chandler, and it's going to be a lot of fun. So yeah, I'm really looking forward to it. Anybody has any questions or anything you want to talk about? All you got to do, is put it in the chat, and it pops up right in front of me so I can see anything you guys want to talk about, any questions that you may have. I am really excited about something I'm going to be doing this week. I've got a brand new duo. It's two sisters from Mississippi that I'm going to start producing and working with hands-on. And they're coming to town this week. We've got photo shoots planned. We're going to go in the studio. I'm producing their debut EP. That's going to be a lot of fun. And then, you know, just trying to get settled in a little bit. So that's kind of what's going on with me right now. It's you know, it has been very stressful. But I got to say, it's at the point now where it's just kind of nice to be able to just kind of sit back and relax. I have been planning on starting these live streams for a long time. So actually just kind of, and I didn't announce it. Yeah, you know what? I didn't even post anything on Facebook or Instagram or Twitter for that matter. And I probably should have, but I just kind of wanted to kick this thing off and just get on and make sure all the equipment's working. And according to you guys in the chat, everything looks good. Everything sounds good. And that's really what I wanted to do today. So I just wanted to hop on and you know, have some fun, test everything out. You know, it's one thing when you start hooking all this stuff up and then it's like, oh my God, does it work? Because I have to tell you, I'm a Mac guy. Like, at heart, I am a Mac guy. But when I started the YouTube channel and editing video and everything, I realized that contrary to popular belief, Mac is not always the best when it comes to video editing. So I stepped back into the PC world after like 15 years. The last PC I had was a freaking Gateway. And I don't even think they're around anymore. So it had been a long time. So working with Macs and PC, they're completely different platforms, completely different. So like this streaming rig right here I've got set up is PC based. And so it takes me maybe a step or two longer than it does, you know, learning all the commands and how things are plugged in and how things are wired. The good thing about Mac is you just plug it in and it just starts working. It's like you plug anything into a PC, it's got to be updated and this, that, and the other. And it can get frustrating. But I'm working my way through it. Plus, in this, I'm getting into gaming. With the PC thing, it's gotten me into gaming and playing Fortnite. And if you guys follow me on Instagram, you know how big I'm getting into that. Because I love it. It's you know, I got to have something that helps me step away and get away from the music business. And gaming has been that for me. This YouTube channel has been that for me. I'm hoping that these live streams will be even more of that for me. But I got to tell you guys, gaming is addictive. Fortnite is addictive. Streaming is addictive. I'm not allowed. If I mention the other platform, we get strikes on YouTube. I'm also going back and forth with YouTube quite a bit here lately because they keep giving me copyright strikes for using my own music in some of my vlogs and some of my videos. And it's like I'll put something up and then I get an email from YouTube because I use a song that I wrote and produced on another artist, and they're like, hey, you're not allowed to use, and I'm like, and then I have to submit the claim. Yes, I am. I wrote the damn song, blah, blah, blah. I own 50% of the publishing, so I can use it whenever I damn well please. And then, you know, a day later, yes, you're 100% correct. The strike's been removed and all that. So I've been going back and forth with that because I've got plans for this live stream to be able to do a bunch of stuff. I want a lot of independent artists to be able to come on, and we do channel reviews, music reviews, and all that kind of thing where you can drop a link for me in that comment section. I can pull up the video. We can all watch it together, and we can talk about it. That's part of what I want to do. And hopefully give some boost to some independent artists out there. But also, you know, be able to answer their questions they may have about, you know, their production and or their writing or the music video type stuff. and all that. So I want to make sure that we're getting all that straight with YouTube, because I don't want copyright strikes on my account. So, but they keep giving them to me for my own music. So go figure. But it gets worked out. It gets worked out one way. But anyway, guys, thank you so much for joining in today. I'm interested to know, those of you that are watching right now, did you get a notification? Is that how you knew that I went live? Because that's when everybody, all the YouTubers are talking about, that YouTube is not sending out the notifications that new videos are being posted and that somebody has gone live. So if anybody in the chat, everybody that's watching, if you could tell me, I want to know, did you guys get a notification that I went live, and so that's how you clicked on, or how did that go down? Just because, we want to keep YouTube honest. They do a really good job, I have to say. Starting this YouTube thing, you kind of get drawn in a little bit to something that I had no idea even existed. And there is this underworld within the YouTube community. There are people I've never heard of that have 25 million followers, like these Logan Paul characters and Rice. I had no idea who these people were till I got involved in this. Well, evidently, there's all this drama that goes. It's almost like the real world, and there's all this drama that goes on around it, and you get caught up in it sometimes. It's very easy to get caught up in sometimes, but a lot of people have been complaining about YouTube's algorithm and them not notifying people even though they've been asked, and they've clicked the little bell thing and to be notified, but they're not getting notified when a creator uploads new content or goes live, and they think that's hurting them with their views and everything else. So I always like to know, if when I post a new video, are you guys being notified? You guys are obviously subscribers to the channel. Thank you. And I like to know that you guys are, in fact, being told when I'm uploading new videos or when we go live, things like this. I'd also like to know what is a good time, if you guys are interested in being involved in some of these live streams. What's a good time? What's a good day? Is Monday good for you guys? Tuesday? I don't know. I put in a video a couple of weeks ago that, one of the things that I want to make sure that I do is not do mine at the same time that somebody else is doing theirs, because there's several guys on YouTube that I love watching their live streams. Painfully Honest Tech, I love watching his live streams. Caleb Pike at DSLR Video Shooter, love watching his stuff. So, and Casey Neistat and a lot of those guys, I love their content. So I don't want to do it at the same time, so that we kind of have our own thing going, and it's not as not competing with what somebody else is doing. So if you guys have a time that is better than another, just let me know, so that we can maybe find some sort of consensus, and we can make the live stream happen on that night. But anyway, guys, not going to keep you tonight. I just, like I said, I wanted to get on, wanted to test out all the equipment, make sure everything was going to work properly, which thank God that it did. But anyway, guys, this is, I guess we could call this our inaugural live stream. So thank you guys so much for stopping by. Thank you guys for watching. Thank you guys for interacting. And if you haven't already, subscribe to the channel. Click the little bell icon next to the subscription button thing, so that you do get those notifications we were talking about when I upload new content or when I go live. Any topics that you guys would like to propose that we do, either I can do a video on, or we can do here when we do these weekly live streams. Just let me know. Shoot me an email, thestevefreeman@gmail.com. Pop it in the comment section below here. Get in touch with me one way or the other, and we'll start doing this on a regular basis. I'm really looking forward to it, and I hope you are. Again, guys, thank you so much for supporting the channel. Thank you guys for watching the content, and more than anything, interacting and even giving a damn. I got to be honest with you, man. There's so many things to distract you now. The fact that you guys watched my videos, it's humbling, and I appreciate it. I really do appreciate it. Thank you guys so much. So I hope you've enjoyed this, our inaugural live stream. I'll be planning some more. Stay tuned to the channel. If you want to find out everything that's going on, follow me on Instagram. I hate Facebook, and I don't really like Twitter. Follow me on Instagram at @TheSteveFreeman. You'll get all the notifications of videos, gaming stuff, all that. If you can follow my life, you follow it on Instagram. Guys, thanks so much for tuning in for our first live stream. We will do it again very, very, very soon. Thank you, guys. Have a great rest of your night.
Hey, hey. Woo. Hey, hey. Woo. Ain't no time to run. Ain't no place to hide. Ain't nobody safe anymore. Ooh, lies. Can't count the shine of gold. Can't follow the stories told. Ain't no shelter anymore.